Editing a video can be so time consuming, but what if there's some things we can put into place into your process that will speed things up? In this video, I'm gonna give you 3 things you can implement today to start speeding up your editing workflow. Hello everyone, I'm Cameron King, or Candleman King on all my socials. Thanks for watching. If you could, hit subscribe. You'll get more content like this weekly, and I can't wait for all the things that are come out this year. I plan on releasing 1 video a week, unless, something happens that I can't do it, but whatever. Most weeks you'll have it. I also have a newsletter you want to sign up to. You can get it straight to your inbox. I'll put it in the description below. So when I was younger, as a young wee lad of an editor, I made a butt ton of mistakes. I'm talking about a crap ton of mistakes. Missing files being thrown on random drives and not put in the correct spot. I just didn't know how to do stuff. I didn't know how to navigate editing, so mistakes were made. And to be honest with you, that's how we all learn, is by making these mistakes. Some are more costly than others, but luckily I was able to not end my career over it, so to speak, but mistakes were made, and here are some lessons that I've learned over the years and some techniques that you can start implementing today to start helping you edit, to speed up your workflow so you don't have to make these same mistakes that I did. So, number 1, get organized, stay organized. You have to be militant about this, or else you're going to be hunting for files that were in your download folder, but then you deleted your download folder, so you have to go and look for it wherever you found it, whether that's on some random person's Dropbox or in your email or whatever, and now it's gone. You have to search for it. Just stay organized. The thing you're going to do is, once you find a folder structure that works, you're actually going to mirror the folder structure that you have in your Finder, in your Windows application, in your Finder, and then mirror that to your project. Whether you're using Final Cut Pro, DaVinci, Premiere, you're gonna just basically say like, all right, here's the folder structure that I have in Finder. I'm gonna do the same thing in my editor. That way, you know where the file is on your editor, in your NLE, and where it is in Finder. You can just look and be able to mirror the 2 things. Will save you a ton of time and less headache. So the benefit with all this is that everything will be in its place. Everything will be where it should be if you stay organized. And if you're interested, I'll send you my file structure. Just shoot me an email, cam@candlemanking.com, and I'll send you what I do for all my projects. Stay organized. Learn your quick keys. All right, now this is easier said than done. Learning quick keys takes time, but just like any muscle memory, you have to practice. So learn the basics. Learn, for most editors, most NLEs, JKL will go back, stop, forward on your timeline. So those are really nice keys to have, back and forward. Spacebar makes it go as well. Things like I and O for in and out. So a lot of these things are cross-platform. If not, you can definitely map it out, but learn those basic keyboard shortcuts and then start expanding from there. So on your next project, pick 1 more thing to start memorizing for that particular project. Maybe it's the blade tool. Maybe it's, for me, it's, instead of using the blade tool with my mouse, using it with quick keys and mapping that out. For me, I use Control V, which is an old Final Cut Pro 7 quick key, but whatever is comfortable for you, learn it. I suggest the blade tool is one to know. I also use one for like nudging files up and down tracks, things like that. I use all the time. But the key thing is memorizing it and getting faster at it. So find 1 or 2 that you can memorize per project and just start building on that. The key here is to start simple with those basic JKL, IO, spacebar type things, and then get Ninja later and just start building a new quick key for each project. Now, last one is probably the most helpful, and it's taken me probably 12 years to figure this out, but you're going to standardize how you build your edit. Now, this is more tactical. Other ones are more like functional, like, obviously be organized, learn your quick keys. I guess they're tactical too. Words, semantics, whatever. Other ones are more like, hey, do this, you'll get better. And this one is something I've learned over time. It's really cool. How you actually build your edit can speed up your process as well. So where you start and then what you end on. So for me, how you lay out your edit really matters and can save you time, so you're not jumbling all around. So the first thing is, it's called A-roll and B-roll for a reason. A-roll is generally the roll that you hear versus C. It's the roll. It's the roll that's driving the story, right? It's the VO. It's you know, someone talking, a talking head or something like that. It's really the thing that drives the story, not necessarily visually, but it does drive the story audio wise and pushes things forward. So A-roll's first, and then your B-roll, right? You put the B-roll on top of the A-roll to cover it up. So start with your A-roll, get yourself a nice radio edit down. We call them radio edits. If you're not familiar, that's just, you know, the audio version of the story, and then put your B-roll on top of that. So general rule of thumb, if we were to break this down into chunks, you would do a radio edit and then do a rough cut, you know, with a pass on some B-roll, and then you would do your fine cut. These are just 3 ways. These are, you know, the basic 3. There are obviously some little steps in between that you can fine tune and tweak, but you start with the radio edit, move on to the rough cut, and then do a fine cut. So a radio edit, let's say, should take about 10% of your time, a rough cut about 70% of your time, and then a fine cut will be that last 20% of your time. Now I say a rough cut takes about 70% of your time because there might actually be a few rough cuts in between, and that last 20% for the fine cut gives you 80% of your value. So it's things like adding graphics, fine tuning the massaging the edits, things like that, things that really make the edit shine. So there you have it. There are 3 things you can really start trying to implement today or on your next edit, and that was to stay organized, to learn your quick keys, because that's pretty important to get faster, and to standardize how you build your edit by starting with a radio edit, moving on to a rough cut, and then doing the fine tuning, and trying not to veer too much from that process. So I hope you found this all helpful. If you did, please subscribe. Please share with one other person. That would help me out, and that would help the algorithms and all that magic, you know, for more people to see this wonderful, wonderful video I made with this wonderful, wonderful background that I put together in about 5 minutes. So please look below. I have a newsletter, like I said. You can sign up, share with one person. I think that's all it. So have a good day. Thanks.